So, I mean, with what we experienced with Irma especially, I think people are, have some reluctance to evacuate. But I would stress to them is the only thing we know about this storm is that we don't know where it's going to go. I mean, it's proven that it was supposed to hit Puerto Rico. It didn't do that. It was supposed to weaken into a tropical storm before it got to the Bahamas. Obviously, it didn't do that. It was supposed to cross the Florida Peninsula, go into the Gulf. It's not going to do that. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that this thing will take a northern turn later than anticipated. So we need to take that into account and make sure that people are aware that we could be facing a very serious situation come Wednesday, and they shouldn't delay. The governor ordered an evacuation, and I think they should heed that evacuation.
Well, to your knowledge, will there be law enforcement stopping people from going back, like say is Wednesday? Do you know what the last time frame is?
No, I mean, just practically speaking, we're not going to contraflow 80. I know I-16 is going to be contraflowed. I think he said up to Dublin, I believe. But what we did not contraflow 80. We would not stop people from coming back if they need to go back to pick up a loved one. There might be some elderly people and their relatives might need to get them, so we don't want to stop them from doing that. But at the same time, we want to make sure people get out. I don't want people stuck on Wednesday on Tybee. High tide cycle comes up and the road's covered and they can't get off the island, and then they're waiting and they might be evacuating during tropical storm force winds, hurricane force wind potentially, with debris flying all over the road. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So just be safe, be in inconvenience for a few days and leave. That's the wisest thing to do.
What's the timeline you're talking about to be out by when?
I mean, I think they need to start evacuating now, no later than tomorrow, because we're looking at the earliest possible arrival of tropical storm force winds would be Wednesday. You don't want to be driving around in tropical storm force winds.
So Wednesday, what time?
With this storm, I can't say. We just don't know what it's going to do. The track has changed again and again. The intensity forecasts have changed again and again. This forward speed has changed. So I would just say make sure you're out by tomorrow.
What do you say to those people who say, "Oh, we've done this before and things were all right. We stayed last time. And
right.
It was okay." Yeah.
I would say look at what happened to people who stayed for Hurricane Michael down in Florida. You don't want to be in that situation. So it might be an inconvenience, and you might leave perhaps for no reason. That's totally possible. But why would you risk that just so you don't inconvenience yourself for a couple of days? It doesn't make sense to risk your life. It doesn't make sense to risk your life and gamble everything on what is a very unpredictable storm.
Are you more scared or more concerned about this than past things, or everyone scares us, I think?
I mean, based on what we've seen in the Bahamas, you'd be crazy not to be a little bit nervous about this one, and given the unpredictability of it. So, again, I just think people should recognize that this thing we're still in that cone. We could have a direct hit in Chatham County and on Tybee, come Wednesday, Thursday. And you do not want to be stuck on a barrier island in a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane.